This week I went to the DM store first to get all the paperwork that I need for the Anmeldung registration. Keep in mind that it's quite difficult to print anything in Germany. And I met up with my friends and we visited some bookstores. And I just really manifested that one day I'll be able to read even children's books. And one of my friends picked up a somewhat relatively easy looking comic book and I bought it so that it will be like a physical example for me to work towards. Hi guys, a change of scenery. So I just returned from my very first meetup with the new landlord and the roommate. I had brunch with the roommate and she's really cool. We're the same age. She's been living here for 3 years at the same house. And so we just really clicked, got along really well. Once we kind of nailed down the house chores and get to know each other more, I think I'll have a great European flatmate life that I've always wanted. And the landlord, he's so funny. He's super cool, and he's very considerate. With his limited English, he tried his best to communicate with me and vice versa. And we would chat and I would throw in like German words here and there. And he'd be like, oh, yes, what is that in English? And it was very wholesome. And the girl that's leaving is going to give me the keys a few days earlier than my move-in date. So tomorrow I'm gonna go to IKEA for the very first time and do some furniture shopping, but nothing much to buy in terms of like big chunks of furniture. And then I gotta do some paperwork in terms of getting the internet ownership. Like, it's so strange here because you have to pay a one-off fee of roughly 35 euros just transfer from the old person to me. It's so stupid. I don't know why they do that. I feel like Germany just puts money on a bajillion things so that they can get paid. Even like for the utility bills, they tax like TV and radio fee, and they charge 3 months in advance. So even if you don't have a TV or a radio, you have to pay it. It's by law. It's so stupid. But what can I do? Yeah, the building's very old, but based from what the new flatmate told me is that all the other residents, they're all really lovely, and apparently everyone's like very friendly with each other, so they will greet each other by name and stuff, and I think that's really cute. So I'm really excited, and I'm so glad I started this YouTube channel because like it's literally a documentation of my life. Maybe 30 years from now I can show this to my kids, or I can look at it whenever I feel really down or like I feel like I haven't achieved enough. It's literally a drama series. It's like Eugen's K-drama without the romance. Yet, who knows? Maybe God has picked my partner and he's developing him whilst he's developing me. Who knows? And let's go to IKEA. If you have a car, it will take you about 20 minutes. If you don't, it will take 3 trips and it will take a total of an hour. And my GPS was leading me to a field and I made it to IKEA. It's ginormous. I've never been here. I was pretty excited. And yeah. Today's mission is to find pillow, bedsheet, blanket, possibly a lamp, clothes hangers for laundry. But there's just so much stuff here. Let's just try to not get distracted and oversplurge. This is my first time in IKEA ever. This was my to-do list and I was already lost. I had no idea where anything was and I had to ask a few people around. And I made it to the home section and I tried every single pillow that there was because I'm a very sensitive sleeper. This was my inspo for my room and I was just checking the color coordination. I think I bought everything that I needed. Definitely don't need that, but need it for the color scheme. 돈 너무 많이 쓰는 거 아니야? And I made it to the section that I was most excited about, the lighting section. I saw that lamp, fell in love, looked up closer. It looked a little cheap, and then I saw this one and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really beautiful. And that's how much I spent. I don't know if it's a lot, but I don't think it's a lot, but I don't know. And I was really contemplating if I should take an Uber, but I didn't. I came back home straight away, did all the laundry, and the reason why I didn't take the Uber is because I wanted to spend that 20 euros on treating myself to a massive meal because I fucking deserved it, and it was so good. This could be my official last day of sleeping in my very first room that I got in Germany. Oh, I am officially moving all of my stuff to the new flat tomorrow evening. I'm gonna clean the shit out of this room. Oh my gosh, like, it's a new beginning. Get to decorate my room to the aesthetic that I always had in mind. Today, I don't want to say it, but maybe I did splurge a bit. I did get the essentials except for the laundry hanger because they were out of stock. I did also buy a little, like, you know, those like drapey long blanket things purely for the color coordination, but I tried to girl math it in my head and said, if I get cold, this is an extra layer. So I always wanted this like earthy tone with a pop of blue and just like an overall very welcoming atmosphere whenever I walk into a room. And I always wanted like a really sleek aesthetic looking lamp, and I was contemplating between one that looked like a flower, so it's like a really like feminine, really like puffy, fluffy looking one, and another one that's kind of like really sleek with like a mega light bulb, and like it's the type that you would see like in cafes and stuff. And I was contemplating so hard. I think I was like standing in the lighting section for like 30 minutes just like staring at it, looking at a photo of the room, staring at it, looking at the inspo photo, staring at it, and then you know, I made the decision. I chose the cafe one, and I just can't wait to decorate my entire room and slowly add all these little pieces that will put everything together. And the main cherry on top is getting like greenery, like pot plants, and knowing me, the pot plants will die because they met the wrong owner, me. So I am thinking if I should buy those fake ones, but then again, the optimistic me is like, I can do it. But that's a big commitment. This room has been such a great little like nook. Yes, it had its flaws, like the mesh thingy, but nevertheless, it was my safe haven. It was such a great place to start off my Germany adventure, and I'm so glad that God has helped me find this new place, because this new place is like a version of this but better. And the next day I made myself my final meal and cleaned up the space, packed my bags, and said goodbye to my old room, and off I went to the new house. Hello from my new apartment. Yesterday, such a busy day. So I cleaned the old place, I packed my life away in a bunch of bags, and I had to make 2 trips. Luckily, my friend who used to live in this room came to help me. So thank you, Tasom. And I was able to quickly and swiftly transfer from one place to another and had my first sleep in my new apartment. I loved the first feeling that I got once I put away everything in their little corners and spaces, and I added my little finishing touches. I loved it. I absolutely love this room. It's so spacious. It's got everything that I need. But I think because it was the very first time I was sleeping in the foreign space, I couldn't fall asleep like this, despite being absolutely exhausted. It's okay. What I also did was install like a little mesh thing by the window so that no bees or flies can enter. But whilst I was installing it, this fucking bee somehow entered through like the gap. Freaked me out, and I had this like 30 minutes of just like me trying to guide it out, but the bee is so stupid and it would just like keep climbing up and flying against the already installed part. I can't explain it, but long story short, the bee is somewhere in my room. Which defeats the whole purpose of installing the mesh. And I don't know where it went. I haven't heard any buzzing sound, but what had been the most safest, comfortable space has immediately turned into a very scary environment, all for a little tiny bee. And you might be thinking, it's just a stupid bee. Why are you so scared? I guess just a little story time. When I was 4 years old, 4 or 3, back in Korea, my family used to go to this riverside during the summertime, where a bunch of other people were also there, and everyone was playing in the water. And I had a adult size, a donut tube around me so that I can float. And then a bee was roaming around my head. And mind you, this was my first encounter with a bee. So I was just like whacking my arms back and forth, trying to get it out. And then it stung me on my arm. And because of the pain, I lost my grip of the tube and fell straight into the middle. And I started to drown. And I distinctly remember my mom screaming to my dad to, pick me up. So I survived. But because of that, I have a traumatic experience with bees. And I hate them. I detest them. And I'm genuinely scared of them. And maybe that's why I'm not too fond of waters as well. But because of that, everyone here, when they see me freaking out about a bee, they look at me really weirdly. And I just don't have the time to explain to everybody the backstory. I think I have 22 subscribers. So at least 22 people know why I don't like bees. Anyway, I used this. It comes with an adhesive tape inside. And I'll show you what my window looks like now. The finishing is not the best, but let me show you my room. Here's my desk, my bed. All these paintings came with the house. This is my little shelf. This is my water corner. The bottom here is like my food corner. That's my very own kettle. And I use this product called this that you pour into the pot so that it can get all the dried up calcium and minerals that are really high in German water, because they tend to form a bunch of clumps at the bottom of the kettle. So this breaks it down and makes it very clean. So I make sure to only use bottled water. It's not harmful to your body, but it just tastes weird. It just looks weird, so it's best to have it clean. And here is like my little cleaning corner and my camera. And here is like toiletries, medicines, electronic stuff, important documents. Here's like my everyday stuff. Here is my makeup, skincare corner, and my umbrella, my cap, two of my go-to bags, my laundry bag, my rubbish bin, and here is the wardrobe, and here we go. I love it. It's so compact. Everything is all nice and neatly placed, and I have a full size mirror. So das is my new Zimmer. And even today, I woke up early and I went to the grocery store. I just had to walk home 5 minutes back. And it's just fucking amazing. I'm so grateful. And so I made sure to give thanks to God last night whilst I was journaling. And it's really, I'm really happy. And I'm not gonna let a little tiny bee ruin this moment. I just feel like when I'm asleep, it could crawl up and start buzzing around, and I could get stung. I know it's stupid, but it's scary. Anyway, tomorrow is a big day, because tomorrow is Anmeldung day. I just need to make sure that I have all the documentations that I need so that I don't waste my time and I can just get shit done. And I started to crave some Korean food, and I didn't have all the ingredients that I needed, but I just whipped something up and it was pretty good. This is 육개장. And at church, a famous Christian singing group called J.Us was performing the teenage church camp, and it was just really cool to see everyone just being very immersed and giving their heart out to God, especially at such a young age. And I felt very blessed. We had great time. And this day was Anmeldung day, and I feel like just a rule of thumb, you should really try to learn at least a few phrases in German, just out of respect. And I haven't encountered any rude people. Everyone's been very nice, and it's a good way for you to practice as well. This is the 2 documentations that you're supposed to fill out, and you will see your appointment number on the screen. Good afternoon, everybody. For my Anmeldung, what I was told was I had to fill out one form that provides majority of the documentation on my part, which is like if I'm single, if I'm religious, what my ID details are, where I'll be residing in, etc. like that. And the other part is the landlord providing confirmation that this person, me, will be living in this apartment, the address from this day onwards. And I took those 2 papers, and then I went with my passport. Process was really quick. She only wanted to see my landlord's registration and my passport. She didn't even, I showed her my written one, and she said, no, that's okay. And also they ask you if you have any religion, because there is a religion tax. And also in rare cases, they request proof that you are not married from your country. So I had a friend who had to contact the Korean embassy to get proof that she's not married, but I didn't do that. So it's a case by case. But I highly recommend that you go to the Saxon House location one. They're very well known for being polite and kind and accommodating. Secondly, I have adjusted my CV and my cover letter because I will be doing the old-fashioned walk-in job hunting method, possibly next week, Tuesday. I specifically want to go to this cafe called Dining Realm. It's owned by a Korean Australian, and the coffee there tastes like home. And it's one of the best coffees that I've tasted in Frankfurt, and they're very popular. They're very well known. But I checked all the staff members. They're all white people, and they must be Germans. I don't know. So if I go, I will exponentially improve my German. I'm looking for a part-time weekday, maybe plus Saturday if need be. Part-time jobs. I want to hope and keep my Sundays open for church, but it's a part-time. It's only 20 hours a week, so I think it'll be good. And I also have other options, so I'll be getting this printed and put my best face forward on Tuesday. So I want to go when it's like the most quiet, most chill. So I went to the stationery store to buy some books and pens and highlighters in preparation for my upcoming German class. And I went for a little stroll around the neighborhood. It's so pretty and it's so quiet. It's still close to the city, and yet it still has that European vibe. And I bought this little mini fan. This is the best 20 euros I've ever spent. And this is my room at night. It's so cozy and nice. And I met up with my friends again for some lunch, and we visited this cafe called Cosmic. It's very Instagrammable and very hip. And then it started to pour like crazy. I don't know what's wrong with the German weather, but nothing phases me anymore. And as Germans say, you're not made out of sugar, so just enjoy the little drips. And I had my first dinner with my flatmate. She took me to a very popular restaurant called Jiang Jiang. I've never had, luck with malatang, but this was very nice. And the Frankfurt City held a massive summer festival. Germans do this a lot. It's like a carnival, lots of rides, and my flatmate and I decided to ride this mega adrenaline rush ride. We were getting a little scared and then it started to pour again, but here we go. Yeah, we were both kind of shitting our pants, to be honest, and then it started to go and build up and got very, very fast, and it was so funny though. We nearly puked, and yeah, we were shaking our hands by the end of it and pretty much knocked out. But yeah, it was a great week. Bye.